And Jack, of course, he was actually, I wrote Jack, Cody and I wrote Jack, Conrad as Jack, because he's just got that face where he could be a friendly guy or he can look like a dick within a minute.
Son, did my deputy or I tell you to lean up against this car? Are you looking to get searched tonight?
My name's Jack Bell. I played Conrad, the evil sheriff that controls the monster. From what I understand, the director, Andy, told me that he was looking for somebody that was a real asshole, and so I was the first person that came to mind. He thought I would fit the part, so I guess that's why I got selected for the part.
We had cast some friends of Cody's for the character of Jack Knight, and we shot a scene with him, and then we could never get him to come back. So then we went down to a friend of Josh's, and I think the first weekend we were going to shoot with him, I think he broke his leg or something like that. So I was like, well, we're jinxing with his character. What are we going to do? And that's when we went to Justin and said, you know, I know you had this small part. He's going to be one of the kids at the stoplight at first.
I'm Justin Loomis. My character's name is Jack Knight. I believe.
I didn't think you were
I'm pretty sure.
We were out here shooting, and we decided to call in Justin. And Justin didn't want to do any lines or anything, but we got him to do it, and he did really well. And which I'm glad, because he did a lot better than my friend would have, or Josh's friend would have, I think. And which is interesting because he doesn't like talking or acting. So,
yeah, I'm very shy, not good at speaking.
There's not one person, well, maybe one or two, but nobody there has any professional experience whatsoever. I never was in drama club in school, never did anything like this, and so it was a lot of work.
I was outside, and I knew the lines and what I wanted to say, and I thought I knew how I was going to react, but as I was waiting to be called in, I was nervous as hell. I was kind of shaking, and I was trying to imagine in my head like what this character would do when he, you know, goes in the basement and sees kids chained up, his cousin, and how I was going to react. And I thought I had it figured out until I went down there, and I pretty much blew it to hell.
On Brian's first scene, when he comes down the stairs, that was the first line he delivered. And like I said, when he came down and delivered it, I really sat there and I just went, oh shit. Because he wasn't an actor and he wasn't ready, he wasn't used to it. And actually, him and Shannon both did this very dry read where he came down and he's like, Jill, are you okay? Yeah, but he's down here, Dale. He's down here. Well, where the hell is he? And it was that dry.
Jill, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, but he's down here, Dale. He's down here.
Where the hell is he? And I was thinking, oh my God, they're gonna kick me off the film. But you know, as we film more, you get comfortable with it. You learn your lines. You start getting into the character more, and it starts to become natural. Not much of a talker, are you, Bill?
One of the biggest pains in the asses was getting everybody together, because everybody's doing it for free. Nobody's an actor. Everybody's got lives to live. They don't want to give up their little time that is for today. So yeah, it was always a pain trying to call everybody up, say, hey, this weekend, who can I get?
You had to constantly, every weekend, and I'm kind of a party guy, I like to go out. And my wife, we had to sit home and sit in the living room, and sometimes I'd go, how's it going, honey? And she'd be quiet, and I go, oh, we're in trouble. Because it was like weekend after weekend, filming in the cold and the damp too. That was not fun.
And everybody had their little cross to bear. The main star of the film, Mr. Halloween, didn't have to drive anywhere. He just had to have 15 or 20 people hanging out at his house every Friday night and every Saturday, and he couldn't go to, his clam bake or chicken barbecue because he's got all these people at his house.
Oh, I can't get Shannon because she's working, or Bill has to go to the canal days. Stuff like that. It always come up.
When we didn't want to do it, I can't do it this weekend. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Oh, you gotta do it. Come on, we gotta do it. So then I give in, and I'll give you half a day, but I gotta leave, at a certain time, and I jump in the car and have to go somewhere and then come back and film some more later on.
It got grueling and old because not only was I there for every shoot for this one, but for the second one and then for the original one, and all that. But I mean, after a little bit, you got used to it. You understood what you had to do and what the end goal was. And
yeah, there was a very big commitment that everybody had to make, obviously, because none of us were paid at all. And the one person who was paid was only there for, a day to shoot. But we all had to commit. We had to commit our weekends and especially me, my time after the movie was done to edit it and before it to write it. So it was a commitment of about 2.5 years total of my life towards this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon was, a teenager, Cody and Josh teenagers. They got stuff they want to do. Like Shannon had the prom, Shannon had to work, she had band.
I skipped one of the shots for prom. Nobody liked that very much, but I had to go to prom. I looked pretty.
It was just frustrating when she'd cancel shoots because she had to go tanning or because her face blew up because of a bug bite. I've never seen the pictures.
She was the one that we almost fired. We came this close to getting rid of Shannon.
I actually forgot about how he almost fired her. That was interesting. Because I remember sitting around going, well, we could just write her out. We could just kill her, and because there was nobody else that we could have cast or, without going back to shoot everything. But we stayed with her, and I think it was good because she did well.
But we had shot so much in the basement. I'm like, I can't ask everybody, because everybody's been bitching about the basement. I can't ask everybody to go back down the basement and then reshoot with a new Jill. That would have been too much.
I hate my basement, so I never go down there. I haven't been down there since we did the last filming, actually. I don't think I've been down there. Maybe to plug in the hose or something, that's about it. It's a place where I keep my furnace and hot water heater, and that's it. I don't go down there. It's so old, and there's no reason to be there, so I don't. And so when I'm going down there day after day, that was the most time I've ever spent in my basement. And it was miserable, it was cold. There's a little stream that runs through it. And a lot of people don't have that in their basement, so there's always water running, and it just wasn't comfortable.
The first shots we're talking, and they were in the basement, and it was cold, and it seemed like it lasted forever because we had done it already once before, and now we're doing it again. And I think once we finally got out of that basement, it was a big morale booster to be out of a tiny basement that was full of asbestos, probably.
It was pretty rough. The basement was nightmarish.
And so we shot in the basement for a very long time, and it went from being very cold to being even colder. And it wasn't so bad after it wasn't wet anymore, but it was still pretty bad. And because I'm like 6'1", I had to lean over for most of it, and that wasn't fun either. So I was very happy to get out of the basement.
And after my character was killed, I had to lay on the concrete floor down there with my hand in freezing cold water, laying over like a little trench thing that ran right across my midsection. I don't even know, a half hour, 40 minutes maybe. Well, he did other shots in there pertaining to the other characters, which my body would be seen in. So I couldn't move or do anything for about a half hour, 40 minutes. And I remember when we were finally finished and said you could get up, I didn't think I could do it on my own because my body just ached everywhere, and it was so uncomfortable and painful. I got up and staggered, I almost fell.
Everybody really gave it their all, both in their time and their good humor, but also in the very physically demanding requirements of being in a movie like this.
Sometimes it's quite strenuous. I mean, some of the fight scenes, you don't even think about it. You're actually fighting, so you're tired, you get exhausted. By the end of the night, I didn't want to do anything but go to sleep.
I went home with bruises and scrapes and cuts, and then I was pregnant, but nobody knew, and I got slammed on the floor like 20 times.
We had the chain wrapped around my neck, and it was caught, and I'm laying on the floor. So when she pulled it from the side, it was like banging against my larynx pretty hard, and I had a sore throat for like 3 months. It was just about to go away and it'd come back again.
I wanted to be realistic, and I wanted to get him back for all the times he hurt me. I gave it my all.
In the haunted house, I was a cadaver, and Bill was going to mutilate it with a few different tools. A hacksaw, for one, he wanted to use to sever the legs, and he wanted to tape it up with duct tape. I said, let me see it first. So I got the hacksaw, I felt the blade, felt pretty dull. So I put it on my thigh and I started to saw. And it didn't seem sharp, it didn't break the skin, so I said, to hell with the tape, just, you know, it's fine. After about 5 or 6 takes, Bill kept hitting the same 2 spots on my inner thigh, and eventually it broke the skin, and I started to bleed, and I got 2 scars on my inner thigh now.